Hi, um, I'm Christine, as you know, if you've been watching my other videos, and I have decided to document my Korean studies. I have been in Korea now for 3 years, and I've been studying Korean on and off during that time, and I would like to sort of like document how I acquire the language, since I want to be a language professional, and I think this can qualify as research, which might be useful in the future for me and other language specialists. So I speak English as a second language. There goes the school bell, lunchtime. Anyway, not for me. I don't eat Korean school lunches yet. Anyway, back to business. English is my second language, and as you can see, I can speak it perfectly, but it's because I'm South African, so nothing special there. But I did learn to speak Italian, and I was astounded that I was able to do that. And now I'm trying to use the techniques that I used unconsciously or consciously in order to also acquire Korean as a language. Now at this stage I would rate myself as a beginner still, maybe sort of like pre-elementary, because while I'm able to understand my textbook examples through repeated listening, I don't get spoken Korean. I can communicate a little bit, but really I would say I'm like at about 2%, 2 out of 100 Korean wise. Now what I've done just now in the video preceding this one is tried out one of the things that I think works very well when learning a language. I was literally writing down what I was hearing. For me, the biggest thing in learning a language is to train your ear to get those subtle sounds, which are actually quite difficult to hear because they're moving so fast, so to speak. I think language learning is all about doing things in slow motion, so I always make my students listen and repeat. I've now made myself listen and repeat the dialogue. This is a very advanced dialogue from my textbook, which is Teach Yourself Korean, published by I don't know, let's see. Well, it's part of the Teach Yourself series, and I don't know who it's published by, but it's really a wonderful book. Teach Yourself Korean. Okay, so this is a very advanced dialogue. It's dialogue number 12B. So it's nearly at the end of the textbook. There are 13 chapters altogether. Actually, there are 2 dialogues in each chapter, so this is, I've done many other dialogues, but this is one that I actually haven't studied that well before. Okay, now let me show you what the textbook is doing and what I'm doing and how I think I can contribute to the theory of language learning by sort of experimenting on myself. Okay, so here, the textbook, as you can see, has the Korean text of the dialogue. Okay, it also has the Kanglish text. So that is the one that I most often use. So the Kanglish text is actually the romanization of the Korean script, and the book advises one to not rely too much on the romanization. I, however, think the romanization is wonderful, and I go even one step further. What I did just now is I listened again to the tape of myself repeating the dialogue, and I wrote down my own version of romanization, where I literally have my own kind of letters. I use my own letters. If, for example, the Korean word is agashi, and it is spelled the romanization in this form. A-G-A-S-S-H-I, agashi. Okay. I actually, how did I write it? I think I just wrote A-G-A-S-A. I've made it more simple. Okay, here is how I wrote it. Agashiga. So I literally just A-G-A-S-S-I-G-A. Okay, Agashiga. I wrote it with a particle together with a word. So I write down what I hear, and I've been experimenting with this with my students as well, and I hope to document this during winter camp, where I'll be teaching students some English pop songs. I'm going to get them to also write in the language that I have invented, called Ingul, which is like what movie posters, it's the language of movie posters. But more than that, I want the students to start writing down in Korean script what they hear phonetically. So even if they hear, for example, a sentence like, all my bags are packed. I was doing leaving on a jet plane this week. All my bags are packed. But I encourage them to just write what you hear when they listen to the song. And some of them hear just, for example, all my pack instead of packed. So then I say, well, write down in Korean script, pack. So that is what I try to do. I write exactly what I hear. And in this way, I'm like capturing the sound. And this is how I managed to memorize and sing G Dragon's Heartbreaker in one of my other videos. And at this point, I'm not so much worried about the meaning. I'm just worried about getting the sounds right. I'm worried about training my ear to get those sounds. So basically, that is the message of these two videos that I'm going to put on YouTube. I think that when learning a new language, sometimes you have to let go of what does it mean. Just see if you can manage to capture the sound in your head and reproduce the sound again. Well, maybe I'll come back to this dialogue later. For now, bye.